One of the key components to choosing the right spouse when you're in business, man, is that you gotta be with somebody who knows what you're going after. They support you, but they also understand you and who you are and what you're doing. Because I think at times you may find someone who supports you, but they don't truly understand what you're doing. I think the biggest challenge is at times when you have a spouse who does not truly understand, and so they may support it initially, but they start to get upset. Why are you home so late? They start asking you questions, and it creates friction in the marriage. Now, I'm all about work life and work life integration and being there for your family, but if someone's going after the goals and dreams, maybe that husband, that wife is not going to be home at 5:30 p.m. every night. You know, it's crazy, man. I'm in business with my wife, right? And traditionally, most households, husband and wife, they have different careers, different passions. You know, they leave the house at 9 a.m. He goes to his job, she goes to her job, or maybe she's a stay-at-home mom, or vice versa. He's a stay-at-home dad. And they leave for 8 hours, 9 hours, go solve their problems, go give value to the world, their organization, their company. They come back home. I didn't want that. And I experienced that early in my life. I used to work at a company called Apple. And my wife worked in a retail store at Sprint, right? She was a retail sales rep. And she would go to her job, I would go to my job, we'll come back home at night, and I can't really communicate with her what's happening, the issues I'm seeing at my company. She's trying to talk to me about her issues. I don't really understand the terminology. And so the communication isn't as effective. This is our first year in marriage, and then we're talking and it got to a point where it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna listen to you, but I have no clue what's really happening at your job. You know, what I noticed is this: usually in most marriages and relationships, they drift. You don't see it your first year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, you come to a conclusion that, okay, how did we get here? How did we get here? Well, you slowly drifted over the years. So I knew at some point in time, I wanted to build something with my wife, right? Now, I had this fairy tale imagination of how it will look. It'll be perfect. Trust me, it's far from perfect. But having the opportunity to work with my wife, man, what's crazy that we wake up every single morning, we're building our business. We both are working and laboring towards our goals and dreams to build a family business that's going to support the Heart brand, our legacy, our 3 kids. And it's nice because, you know, she's involved in my business, man. We're both licensed in our profession, and she's licensed and I'm licensed. And she understands my business. She understands the problems we're facing as an organization and how to solve those problems. And she brings her gifts and talents to the table because we're both different, unique individuals. We have our own talents and gifts, our own genius, and our genius multiplied times this environment has allowed us to grow a business that has really allowed us to live a life that we never thought we could live. So I just said some great things about being in business with your wife, right, or your spouse. It is phenomenal, trust me, but it also has its problems, man. It's crazy, right? So my wife can't really give me directions on what to do. I can't give her any directions, right? It's kind of weird sometimes, man. Like, I can't come home, like, I come to the office, hey, babe, get this done. No, I don't work for you, right? And she doesn't work for me, I don't work for her. And so one of the biggest challenges that as in the couple is, how do you work together? How do you get things done together? How do you solve problems in the right fashion when there isn't really a chain of command in most relationships, right? You're equals at a company you both own. So as we're equals, we have different roles. It's very important to identify your roles in that organization. And so if you're gonna be sales or front end, someone else is back end operations, be operations. If you're gonna be more financial, CFO, more accounting, be accounting. If you're gonna be more the visionary, the leader, the CEO, the executive, be the executive. But understand what your roles are. I see too many relationships where they're in business with the spouse and it's kind of just like go with the flow. No. Do you have defined roles? So I think one of our biggest problems early in business together is that there weren't really defined roles. And so we've overcome that obstacle and that challenge where I have a defined role in our business, so does she. Now, the next issue is really, how do you separate business and work sometimes, right? I think one of the biggest challenges is that we're always working, man. Like, we're building our goals and our dreams, man. So we have work at home, work at the office, work in the car, work everywhere, right? And so there's times when we have to say, okay, cool, you're my wife, I'm your husband, we're not business partners, right? And so we've taken it to a point to be intentional about everything. And like you've probably seen in some of my past videos, I'm all about intentionality in life, right? And so we intentionally plan time away from the kids, away from the business, once a week, our date night. So I know date night's happening this Thursday evening, either Thursday or Friday night, right? This Friday I'm flying out of town to Brooklyn. And so we move our date night up a day from Friday to Thursday evening. It's on our calendar. Thursday evening, we're heading out around 7:30, 8 o'clock. We're going to grab a bite to eat, heading to DC, catching the Uber. We're not driving, man, catching the Uber, just relaxing. And it's just me and her. And I'm dating my wife. And when I'm talking to her at that dinner, we're not discussing business. We're just talking about life and our goals for our family and our kids and what we're doing in our household. And it really allows us to separate work from home life. One of the key components to choosing the right spouse when you're in business, man, is that you gotta be with somebody who knows what you're going after. They support you, but they also understand you and who you are and what you're doing. Because I think at times you may find someone who supports you, but they don't truly understand what you're doing. Because he understands that I'm a driven, ambitious man, and I know I want to accomplish. I mean, even the journey of coming out to the East Coast, we used to live in California. I moved to Maryland. She's still living in California. I moved permanently. I'm living in Maryland. I'm building our business. I'm laying a foundation for our organization. Her and the kids follow in October of that year. And so I missing parties, barbecues in California. I'm here in Maryland. I'm laying the foundation for our family. I'm driven. I'm going and making it happen. And she supports that and she understands it. I think the biggest challenge is at times when you have a spouse who does not truly understand. And so they may support it initially, but they start to get upset. Why are you home so late? Why aren't you here for your son's soccer practice? Why didn't you? They start asking you questions, and it creates friction in the marriage because like, hey babe, hey honey, like we said we're going after this goal and this dream, and now you're challenging me for not being home for that barbecue or being here for that. Now I'm all about work life and work life integration and being there for your family, but if someone's going after the goals and dreams, maybe that husband, that wife is not going to be home at 5:30 p.m. every night. They're not. They're going to be out closing deals, going to be out building relationships, going out networking, building your future life. So it's really important that the person you're dating or courting or you're married to understands the vision for the family and how this business ties into the vision of what you want to accomplish as a couple. And the last thing is really just focusing on the integration. You got to create time for integration. Like I said, I do my date nights. We have Sunday family days. So Friday night is my wife and I. No kids. Sunday is church and entire family. It's gotta be some integration there. It's gotta be some time with family. It can't be like you can't be work 7 days a week. You're burning yourself out because your family should re-energize you and restore you. My sons, my daughter, they re-energize me. They give me strength to want to go. They're part of my why. And so when having a spouse and business for yourself, it's important to understand that, hey, we're on the same page, we're aligned, we're all in for the vision of what we're doing as a family. Not just your spouse, also your kids. My kids understand why I work so hard and what we're building. When it comes down to relationships and business and working with your wife, your spouse, your husband, it's super important to realize that we're one, on the same page, two, headed in the right direction, right? We both understand the sacrifices it may take to build what we want for our families, goals, and dreams, guys. So with that being said, if you got value from today's video, guys, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Comment in the comment section below, guys, and follow me on Instagram @SoldOutServant. Until next time, we'll see you soon.